Hey guys, Taylor here. This will be my second out of my 3 deck profiles. This profile will be my Battling Boxer deck, which focuses heavily on Battling Boxer lead yoke, spamming Glassjaw's ability, and yada yada yada. Very simple. This deck is definitely a sketchy deck. It's not exactly consistent. There are more Battling Boxers that will be coming out in the Shadow of the Spectre packs in October, I believe? Maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, this deck is... Of the 3 decks I use the most, or this is probably the third as far as best. Of course, it does trump the Fire Kings if you can get its cards out. But the thing is, it's not as consistent as the Fire Kings are, especially with my newest additions to the deck. So here we go. I actually run 3 Battling Boxer Spars for special summoning effect. If you special summon him though from your hand, you can't attack that turn. I'm running a Burden of the Mighty. I believe 3 the Warrior returning alive. I don't know if you guys will zoom in or not. I know my phone auto-zoomed. I don't know how this thing zooms, so bear with me as I work through the crappy quality and yada yada yada. 3 counter punches, just because I need monster and discard bait. Another burden, so 2 burdens. 1 or 2 shield crushes. I don't know exactly the specs on this deck. Headgeared, I'm running 3 of these for getting Glassjaw into the grave. 1, because I only have 1 extra Onslaught of the Fire Kings. I have found in the past that when I do a Battling Boxer Fire King mashup, they do work pretty well. But most of my Fire Kings are actually in my Fire King deck. I happen to have a 4th Onslaught and a 4th Big Garanix, so I have 1 Onslaught in here. It is used only for getting Big Garanix out, though. 1 Lightning Vortex, I believe. 3 Switch Hitters to get Glassjaw out from the grave. 2 Corins. Corin is a lot more helpful in the Battling Boxer deck than he is in the actual Fire King deck, so I'm running 2 Corins in my Fire Kings, and I'm also running 2 Corins in here. 1 Torrential Tribute. Glassjaw. And if you ask someone what the main Battling Boxer card is, they'll probably end up telling you Lead Yoke. Battling Boxer Lead Yoke is an XC monster. I run 3. And yeah, they'll tell you that the main Battling Boxer card is Lead Yoke. They are wrong. The main Battling Boxer card is right here. Glassjaw. And Glassjaw, although is not really as good until you get Switch Hitter, and you can actually spam their effects, because his effect happens when he leaves the field, because of a card effect. So when you use Lead Yoke's effect and detach Glassjaw, because he's the material required, you get his effect. We'll just pop 1 Battling Boxer from your graveyard to your hand, so you just send a Switch Hitter to your hand, play Switch Hitter, and get Glassjaw right back. XC summon another Lead Yoke. The deck just will not work without this card. End of story. Magnum Shield, I only have 1. I have yet to try and set out to get more. For Lead Yoke, it's a free 2,000 attack bonus for Lead Yoke because he's a warrior. Another Switch Hitter. XC Block to stop pesky monster effects. Detaching XC bait, though, or XC material, actually is really helpful for Lead Yoke because every time a material is detached, he gains 800 attack permanently. There's my 3rd counter punch. I run 3 Spike Shield with Chains, I believe. There's 1, 2. Actually, I might only be running 2. Nope, 3. 500 attack bonus, and if they're defense, they gain defense equal to their attack. Very helpful. 1 card of sacrifice. If you use this on your opponent's turn, it's just like a Pot of Greed. So that's what I use it for, is Pot of Greed aspect. There's another Spike Shield. Another Headgeared. 3rd Headgeared. 2nd Spar. 3rd Spar. Glassjaw. I run, I believe, just 1 Hand Destruction. It makes it to where I can get counter punched into the grave, and another Battling Boxer or Glassjaw if need be, and draw 2 cards. So, helpful, that's for sure. 1 Reinforcement of the Army, because they're all warriors. So whatever one I need. 1 Big Garanix to use with Onslaught. Really the only purpose of this is to use Onslaught. So if I draw a Big Garanix, that slacks. There's another XC Block. Smashing Ground to destroy a monster. Sometimes I'll destroy Lead Yoke to use Lead Yoke's effect to up his attack. There's another Lightning Vortex. XC effect, whenever I XC a monster, I can flip this when I XC a monster, and I can destroy 1 monster on the field, or 1 card. 1 card on the field. another Glass Jaw, another Warrior Returning Alive, another Counterpunch, another. And then, of course, although it is not quite the most important card, it is what makes this deck so scary. Lead Yoke. Lead Yoke. His effect is. I know this camera won't let you see it. Yeah, it just looks all blurry. Okay. His effect: if a battling boxer monster you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can detach one Xyz material from this card instead of destroying one of those monsters. When an Xyz material is detached from this card gains 800 attack. So he starts at 2200, and then before you know it, he's at 3800, and he's, destroying everything in his path. Battling Boxers, I really do enjoy playing them. That's why it's one of my main decks. The problem with it in its current stage is lack of support, really, which I am working with. You can't just use any level 4. You have to use Battling Boxer monsters, so using cards like Cage Itaje or Tin Goldfish or Goblinberg just aren't as helpful, because you can't use any level 4 monster. You have to have a Battling Boxer monster, which kind of stinks, but, things happen. As a whole, though, as an Xyz deck, you can get almost any level 4 monster you want, any rank 4 monster you want with this deck. I'm currently only running Lead Yoke because that's what it's just a pure Battling Boxer concept. In time, I'll probably have the usual Utopia, yada yada yada. I do know that I did run Ninja, the Cosmo Blazer promo until I traded all of them, but Ninja is definitely a good card to run with Battling Boxer. If you have all 3 Lead Yokes out, or you've lost a few, or you just want to end the game in a funny way, I definitely do use that Ninja Xyz. So, I do think the deck can see some play time when the new Battling Boxers come out and the rank 3 Xyz comes out, making Counterpunch more relevant. Sorry for my monotone-ish. I'm just testing this out. Keep in mind, these are kind of like test videos. I do believe that this deck is now legal with the new format. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you guys do see anything wrong with it, please let me know, because I make mistakes. I'm sure the Evil Swarm deck will probably have something. So, yeah, I make mistakes, and if you guys see a mistake that I made, and if it's a glaring one, you definitely gotta let me know. So, yeah. This deck, of course, if you see anything in this deck that you would like, everything's up for the right price, right card. Battling Boxers, I do suggest that it is a really good deck. The problem with it is lack of monsters, which with cards like Hand Destruction, or Cards of Sacrifice, you can fix that relatively easily, just drawing cards over and over again. So, yeah. It is yet to see any tournament play, the concept in general. I haven't heard of Battling Boxers topping, but I don't really look either, so I'm sure somewhere it has. So yeah, there you guys go, my Battling Boxer deck. Note of the Weary, though, if you do decide to make a Battling Boxer deck, the most obvious weaknesses, and it's really hard to fix them, is if your Lead Yoke gets banished, like Deep Prison or Bottomless will do the trick. So banishment hurts this deck, especially these cards, which are invincible to being destroyed. And granted, the ban list kind of fixes this problem, but compulsive evacuation, that will also stop this deck dead in its tracks. And once you're open, you're open. It's kind of hard to bounce back after you lose so many cards. So yeah, there you guys go. Hope you enjoyed my deck. Can't talk. My deck profile, and thank you for bearing with me as I work out the kinks with my voice, with my equipment, and with my semi-crappy decks until they get fixed. Taylor Eland, and as usual, have a nice day. Once thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I don't know. You guys decide. Thumbs up. There we go. Sorry, working with the camera, so bear with me. Have a nice day, guys. And hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. You guys know the drill by now. Adios, mi amigos.